It's hard to forget the electric atmosphere of the WNBA in September 2024. The season was at its peak, and all eyes were on Chennedy Carter as she found herself in the center of a storm. The controversy wasn't just about stats and scores. It was about how a player's worth is evaluated in a world where public perception and media narratives can overshadow sheer talent and hard work. The tension had been brewing for weeks, but no one expected the chain of events that unfolded, shaking not only the league, but the entire sports community. For Chennedy Carter, it all started with a single announcement: ESPN's latest player rankings. To everyone's shock, she was ranked 24th, an unjust position many believed for someone of her caliber. The backlash was swift and loud. Fans, analysts, and even fellow players were taken aback. How could a player who had shown such dominance on the court, someone with her stats and impact, be ranked so low? But for Carter, this ranking was more than just a number. It felt personal. And in today's age of instant communication and social media, reactions are no longer confined to locker rooms or post-game interviews. Carter shared her feelings on Twitter soon after that, and her initial frustration developed into a major breakdown. She criticized ESPN and openly attacked their judgment regarding the qualifications that affected her treatment. Her status updates shared her emotions clearly and uncensored. They immediately caught the attention of users, within hours of tweeting about it. Respect Chennedy surged as a trending topic, focusing attention from fans of various sports. Is this simply a reaction from an individual retaliating over an unfavorable position, or was it something more? A lot of people maintained that Carter's tweets uncovered an important underlying challenge in the world of sports. The race and gender aspect were discussed, as well as how some athletes are evaluated quite differently from their real abilities in sports. Let's dive into the numbers. The numbers for Carter were notable throughout the season as she averaged 20 points and 5.8 assists with 4.2 rebounds. She achieved a consistent 47% field goal rate comparable to Tier 1 athletes such as Caitlin Clark, who landed a more impressive ranking at number 5. Clark stood out this season in her amazing games, with her achievements in triple-doubles and clutch shots becoming significant news. When we take a close look, the gap between theirs and others was not quite as substantial as the rankings implied. So what gave Clark the edge? A few observers noted her calm under stress, her skill to keep her head while facing the obstacles of play. Might Clark's persona have resonated better with the media and the public? If this is a reality for Clark and Patterson's rivalry, how does that impact those athletes like Carter, who struggle to balance strong emotion with their image? People reacted quickly and cruelly to Carter's emotional display. The commentators categorized her actions as being unstable, unprofessional, and even showing ingratitude. One commentator tweeted that you should act like a professional to be taken seriously. Such comments highlight the disparity female athletes, especially women of color, encounter. If a male player demonstrates intensity or anger, it's interpreted as ambition or the quest for triumph. When Carter opened up about her feelings, everyone viewed it as a collapse. Such a narrative is commonplace to us. Carter's reaction involved more than her position. It emphasized the robust biases that infect athletics, how athletes frequently become reduced to stereotypes, and those who do not follow the standard are often punished more severely. Although the social media reaction was debated, its outcry raised awareness about these matters and sparked discussions much larger than her standing on the list. Caitlin Clark created another event that caused outrage. A physical conflict between Carter and Clark broke out in a furious match, forcing Carter to leave the game. Repeatedly aired on sports programs was the confrontation that got broken down on a frame-by-frame basis. Some understood it as an instance of bad judgment, while others thought it resulted from Carter's accumulated irritation. The respect that Clark expressed to Carter after the game flew under many radar. Even after the clash, Clark appreciated Carter's ability and wanted the media to maintain perspective. That act of unity provided a fresh dimension to the story. Fans noticed her absence during the upcoming games. While fans questioned her mental health, the media questioned her future in the league. Would she mend after experiencing this obstacle? Is disciplinary action on the table for the WNBA leaders? Such queries led the dialogue and eclipsed the contests that were taking place. When Carter came back on the court again, she brought a fresh determination. She played exceptionally well. She walked with confidence that stilled her detractors as she scored 30 points in her return game and directed her team to a vital win. Her relationship with the media continued to carry strong emotions. In discussions discussions with the media, she appeared more measured and carefully picked her expressions. Her once warm and open manner gave way. One could see that the situation caused harm to her work and to her emotions. With the end of the season near the focus of the talk, transformed into what this event implies for the future of the WNBA. The tale of Carter involved more than the struggle of a solo player for visibility. The discussion centered on the challenges of being a competitor in today's landscape, where how well you project can rival your talent and online presence can quickly advance or reverse a person's success. The league came under scrutiny from many viewers. Have actions developed to aid athletes like Carter who believed they were isolated and misheard? Although the WNBA's comments were deliberate and recognized the demand for clearer communication and awareness. For numerous people, it seemed like insufficient efforts were made after the fact. Carter's experience became an enlightening example that athletes should balance closely between their true selves and expectation by society. More than tackling a ranking issue shaped her journey. Shifting perceptions of professional athletes included confronting established norms and asserting personal rights regardless of odds against you. Ultimately, the inquiry reached beyond whether Carter qualified for a greater position. The focus dealt with how we establish and perceive definitions of success and failure as a society. Do we have the courage to examine the statistics and understand the person behind them? Do we accept the challenges faced by athletes outside the court? The saga of Chennedy Carter is ongoing. As the 2024 season came to a close, one thing was clear. As a player and a passionate advocate for change, she has made her stand. In anticipation of the next season ahead for the WNBA, players will need to reflect on the experiences from this chapter. Because in the end, Carter's journey is a reminder that greatness isn't just about rankings or records. It's about resilience, courage, and the willingness to speak out, even when the world isn't ready to listen.
The fever blew out the sky on a night when Dopey DeShields delivered 3 cheap shots.
In Trust Arena, the fever really stretched out this one.
Clark posted 31 points and 12 assists in a 19-point victory. Sho White exited the game to a round of applause and then sat and watched Sleazy Reese. One needs to say, Caitlin, you got to keep your focus. You got to value each possession. You can't play loose with the basketball. These turnovers, 7 a pop, are going to hurt you in the postseason. Period. End of story. You can't be that loose with the basketball.
NCAA championship game, Reese made a taunting hand gesture right in Caitlin Clark's face. It was a callback to when Clark had made a similar gesture earlier in the tournament, but Reese claimed that she received more criticism, not because of how she had performed the gesture or the context of it, but because she's black. Quote, "I'm too ghetto," she said. "I don't fit in a box that y'all want me to be in. I'm too hood. So this was for me, this was for the girls that look like me."